Today I'm going to show you how not to die in the Arctic and hopefully find a rhythm of rest. In the early 1900s, there was a competition to see who could get to the South Pole first. And so on one end, you have this Norwegian explorer named Roald Amundsen, and the other end, you have this naval British officer whose name was Robert Falcon Scott. Pause. Parents, if you're expecting a son, the name Robert Falcon Scott is pretty epic. Sounds like a guy who freed nations and would crush a round of golf. Unpause. Anyway, both these guys decided to see who could reach the South Pole first, and they had very different ways of doing that. Scott and his team decided to put the pedal to the metal. And so on the days when the conditions were good, they went as far and as fast as they could. And on the days when the conditions were bad, those were the days that they decided to take a rest. Meanwhile, Amundsen and his team decided, hey, no matter what the conditions, every single day, we're gonna get 20 miles in and consistently see what happens. And so we've got consistency on this end and intensity on this end. Who do you think got to the South Pole first? Turns out it was Amundsen and his team. Their 20-mile march paid off, and not only did they get there first, but they got there a whole month ahead of time and much safer than Scott and his team. In fact, Scott and his team lost some people throughout their expedition. If I'm being honest, as I look at how I do my life, I tend to take the approach of Scott and his team so much more. I tend to overbook myself, overcommit, and only take rest when I bump into my limits and actually need to. And maybe you know what that feels like. Stay-at-home mom going on 2 hours of sleep with a newborn, corporate worker whose deadline got moved up again, college student who feels like they're just being crushed under the weight of clinicals and finals. Sometimes it feels like we can't take one more step. And yet Jesus invites us in a brand new way to live when it comes to the burdens that we're carrying. This is Matthew, this is chapter 11, verse 28 to 30. It says, "Then Jesus said, 'Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light.'" And so I don't know what finding a rhythm of rest in Jesus looks like for you. Maybe it's having a Sabbath every single week and protecting that day. Maybe in this season it's just 15 minutes every day of being uninterrupted and being able to pray. Maybe it's managing the notifications on your phone so you can show up and be more present with your family. But I do know that Jesus delivers on this promise. And that when we go to him with our burdens, we get a better way to carry life. And sometimes, just like Amundsen and his team, we'll actually go further, faster when we find a rhythm of rest.